Hi, Ramnexus here. I make videos looking at the technical aspects of some of my favourite games. Today, let's talk about The Witcher. A few bits of juicy news dropped which got my attention. Not only has The Witcher 3 hit its 10th anniversary, but there's been an announcement of mod support for the game on consoles, which we'll go over in detail. And at the end, I'll give some thoughts on the recent tech demo for the upcoming Witcher 4. Sound like a plan? Okay, let's do this. The Witcher 3 was released in May 2015. Yes, 10 years ago. Damn, I hate reporting on news. That makes me feel old. Older. Fair to say, the game has improved a lot since it was released. There have been many updates, which gave us new content and a bunch of quality of life improvements. Of course, there's also the 2 expansions, Heart of Stone and Blood and Wine. We've had at least 16 free DLCs, which gave us new quests, some new gear and cosmetics, including some inspired by the Netflix TV series. Since it was released, there have been a metric load of updates ranging from small hotfixes, substantial patches, and notably the 4.0 Next Gen update, which came out in December 2022 for consoles and PC. Of note, that major update provided native PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series console versions of the game, so we no longer had to play PS4 version of the game on PS5 or Xbox One version on the Xbox Series consoles. The game now has ray tracing and enhanced graphics with 4K textures on PC and consoles. We've got improved fidelity with enhanced shadows, greater draw distance, increased crowd density in places like Novigrad, for example, and even the lower spec Series S has a 60 FPS performance mode. We also have many gameplay improvements, including the inventory system. There's now photo mode. We can now slow walk on PC. There's a new map icon filter, which I find handy. And I like the quick sign casting feature when playing with a controller. I find myself using signs a lot more with that. The game now also has a comprehensive game save cross progression system, which just allows me to use the same save game on my PC, on my Xbox, and on my PlayStation console. It's a feature that's becoming more popular in a whole bunch of games, so yeah, bring it on. I love that. That's great. CD Projekt Red, CDPR, has said they will not be making a PS5 Pro patch for The Witcher 3, or Cyberpunk for that matter. But even without PS5 Pro support, I found The Witcher 3's frame rate was improved when playing on the PS5 Pro compared to the standard PS5, simply because the hardware in the Pro is more powerful. So today, both on the PC and latest consoles, Witcher 3 now plays better than ever, and the stories are as good as they've ever been. It's some of the best questing in gaming, in my opinion. If you're still with me and you like this, please give the video a like, that would be good. A subscribe would be awesome. Did I say all that right? You've heard it before. Alright. Witcher 3 mod support on consoles. I love modding Fallout 4 and Skyrim on consoles, so I was really pleased to see a recent announcement from CDPR that a Witcher 3 update will be out later this year to allow console mod support. Awesome. All PS5 and Xbox Series consoles will be supported. Mod.io is the platform CDPR is using to enable this mod integration. This is the same platform Larian Studios uses for Baldur's Gate 3 mod support on consoles. The Witcher 3 has many mods available on PC now, and a subset will appear on the Xbox Series consoles and PlayStation 5 consoles. It seems any mods for consoles that use scripts must be created with CDPR's RedKit modding tool, but other mods, such as straightforward texture mods, will not need that tool. And it sounds obvious, but there's no way to make mods on your console. The mods have to be made on PC. Mods need to be approved before they can be allowed on consoles, which is interesting, and that's how Larian Studios do it. There is no word on if mods will be restricted on PlayStation compared to Xbox, as is the case with Bethesda's Fallout 4 and Skyrim. There's a long-standing restriction put in place by Sony. They do not allow mods for Fallout 4 or Skyrim that run scripts or with assets not already in the games. This restriction is quite limiting, though at the same time I've seen the PlayStation mod community make some truly impressive mods whilst complying with these restrictions. For what it's worth, there seems to be no additional restrictions placed on mods for Baldur's Gate 3 on PlayStation 5, since Larian Studios create all the mods that hit that platform, and I think this will be the same for Witcher 3 mods on consoles.
What about Kavir?
Recently, the creators of the Witcher games, CD Projekt Red, teamed up with the developers of Unreal Engine 5, Epic Games, to show a tech demo for the upcoming Witcher 4. The focus was on new features in Unreal Engine 5 that CDPR had helped Epic develop. I'll put a link to a good quality version of that demo in my notes below. Some versions you'll find on YouTube are better than others. So who was this demo for? Mainly game developers. This demo was primarily made to show other game developers what UE5 can do, what its latest features are, and especially for those developers thinking of using it for their own games. It was also a way for Epic and CDPR to show investors the progress they've made and how good games can look in Unreal Engine 5 if put in the hands of experts. But it was also for Witcher fans, like me. Even though it was a tech demo, some parts were included for the fans.
Let weeds be weeds, Kelpie.
Like seeing Cirilla's horse, Kelpie, that's straight out of the books. Awesome. I loved it. So my thoughts on the demo. The demo looked good, really good, especially since it was running on a standard PlayStation 5. Some have questioned if it was, but yeah, I believe it was. I could tell it was upscaled video to 4K, it wasn't native 4K, and there were some minor visual issues which you could easily iron out if you were making it on a PC, but they didn't. My main question is, was someone actually playing the demo in real time? There was someone on stage with a PlayStation 5 controller, but I have my doubts. They emphasised that Unreal Engine 5 could run at 60 frames a second with ray tracing on a standard PlayStation 5. So having someone control it with a PS5 controller on stage would help prove that point. I get it. I've been present for live Cyberpunk demos where the live gameplay seemed to be the same every single time. I also note in this demo the smooth transitions between gameplay and cutscenes or tech features were just, dare I say, too perfect. I know Digital Foundry even pointed out that these transitions happened without the usual frame rate drops or lost frames that we can have, which are typical in Unreal Engine 5. This might be a new Unreal Engine 5 feature, or it could be evidence that the whole demo was edited. Even if it was faked as a live demo, the main message about UE5's power still came across. It looked great. It's important to remember this wasn't a gameplay demo. It was a tech demo, and the game is still a couple of years away. So what stood out for me? The first thing I think I noticed was the realistic cloth motion. The way that the cloth moved was impressive, and the fact that Ciri's sword, the scabbard of her sword, didn't clip through the cloak she was wearing is almost unheard of, and I was pretty impressed with that. It's quite amazing. Running the game at 60 FPS with ray tracing on a standard PlayStation 5 is pretty incredible. The landscape was very detailed. That looked amazing. There were detailed environments, dense forests, and the vistas, expansive. I really liked the realism of Ciri mounting Kelpie from any angle or speed. It was seamless and very natural motion, and very impressive. And there was that section where they increased the number of townsfolk in the town, Voldrest, I think the town's called. So at one point there were dozens, they say up to 100 of individually animated characters. And if you look at some of them, if you just pick out one or two, you can see that they've got very detailed animations which aren't repeated by anyone else in the scene. I liked they took the effort to animate this woman here gutting the fish. Even though she was in the background, she was half hidden and she was in shadow. Impressive. The lighting evoked that mix of warmth and chill you get with a sunny winter's day. Seeing the pigs chasing apples, which was described as emergent gameplay, reminded me of how the villagers reacted when it started raining in Witcher 3. If you remember, they'd all run for shelter. Yeah, I'm a big fan of emergent gameplay in games. It was great to see. So, what caught your eye in the demo? Feel free to share in the comments below. The comment section is just below the like button, just so you know. Anyway, so that's all I have for you on The Witcher for now. Just 3 bits of very key information I thought I'd share. Once we're able to play mods on consoles, I'll make a video looking at what impact these mods might have on frame rate for PlayStation and Xbox. It'll be a similar video to ones I've made previously on Skyrim on PlayStation and foliage mods for Fallout 4, or foliage, as the Americans say. Feel free to check these out. Alright, thanks for watching. Cheers. Ramnexus out.